This video is some basic essential knowledge for making flat pack folding things that will assemble together without any adhesives or other tightening things, whatever. So, in order to make cardboard things sit together, we can use these little slits. Now, what these will do is allow it to sit flat, and it'll hold it together. In order to make a good one, you're going to need a little bit of thought into the groove itself. Let me show you. Alright, so here we're going to get groovy. You have three measurements, A, B, and C. Let's see. A is going to be the thickness of your material. So if I was making a groove to interlock a piece of plywood like this, the thickness of my cut should be equal to this. Why? Because when you go to put the stuff together, it needs to be able to fit in widthwise. B. B is the depth of your slit, and the depth of the cut is going to be 1/2 the desired depth of the folded together piece. Why? Because if you look here, let's see, here we go. I only cut halfway, but since I've got this distance here and this distance here, when you fold them together, it actually adds those distances together and you end up with the full length. So, A is going to be the thickness of the material, like that, between my fingers. B is going to be 1/2 the distance of the desired connection. And C should always be greater than or equal to 2B. I messed that up. I did it backwards. C is greater than or equal to... Wow, haven't done that in a long time. So, what does that mean? You should never have a groove that comes all the way down to here. That would be bad. You always want to have at least half of your material not cut so that it stays strong. Now, let me show you the impact of some of these things if you don't follow it. So, taking this apart, here we go. To find these, all I did was I found the center point by folding it. I measured C, which is the thickness, and you get 2.5 inches. So when I go to draw my line, I need 1 inch and 1.25 inch. So it's 1.25 inch on this one, and then 1.25 inch on the opposite side. Okay, now this material is super thin. Super thin. So I actually ended up just putting one slit. Now, if I cut a thickness, this looks like it's just under 1/8, maybe, yeah, it looks close to 1/8 of an inch. If I try to interlock these together, look at what happens. So if you make your grooves too thick, it's not going to fit nicely. On the other hand, though, if I were to do two pieces of material which have this thickness, and I put it together, let's see, got a tiny bit of wobble, but it's pretty good. And here I didn't do it perfectly, so it's not flush. Now, if I were to take this and do more than halfway, 3/4, what I'd end up with is this. Now, this makes for a particularly weak connection because there isn't a lot of material to hold it together. You can see this one's bending up like crazy. As long as you follow these guidelines, you're going to have a good, no glue needed joint with your material. This applies for cardboard, wood, metal, really anything, this is how you can get it to slip together.